Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to make this formal introduction to Mr. Jerry Padalecki and Jensen.
Yes, yeah, me too. Last trip, very lucky. This trip, not so lucky. Penny slots? Should. Come in.
Penny sluts.
Oh!
Hey. This is Vegas. It's not that kind of town.
How many first timers do we have out there?
We need some house lights. Can we get just a peek at the beautiful faces that you
Falling,
see
Bree.
right there?
It's falling.
All right, that's enough. You can turn it back on.
Oh! He's like,
How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday afternoon. A round of applause for Loud and Swain.
Rob's friend.
Rob's friend.
Richard Spate. Las Vegas, go easy on them. Have at it, boys. It's like a tip with Richard. He can't leave without an exit line. He'll back out, but he'll never leave until he... But see, he won't come back. That's the good thing. They're all yours, guys. They're all yours. You got it, guys.
How's it been going so far?
Three-peat, always good. How many threes?
First and foremost, for those we haven't had the chance to get to see and thank in person, thank you for season 12. Super excited. And
Very weird. Staring at our ugly faces. That's, apologize. You know, I know there's somebody out there who's like, you know, trying to get into the show and really invest a couple of years of my life. And now they're like, come on, guys, this is, I can't jump ship now. But you're killing me here.
for those out there, we're with you. We are with you. You're killing me, I'm just kidding. We're super grateful and super proud. We have some really cool episodes coming up at the end of this season. So, it would have been a shame, a damn crying shame to not be able to play it out with another year. So, thank you. I know some nice folk have been waiting, so let's get some questions. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to say my family and I just recently came to enjoy Supernatural this past year, and this is my first time at a conference. And you thank all your fans, but I just wanted to well, but let's say Supernatural comes to its natural end.
Whoa, you don't say that.
Whoa!
That is Voldemort. Okay. That cannot be spoken amongst family.
I'm listening.
Where do you see yourself professionally?
Far away from here. That's no.
Where do you each see yourself professionally in 10 years after Supernatural ends?
10 years after Supernatural ends. Let's say Supernatural ends in 3 years. 2 years. Alright. Are you talking about?
So then the answer would be retired.
Well, for the first part of your comment question, thank you. We did create the community, though we were here to help nurture the community. I saw a t-shirt today in the photograph line, and it made me really happy. And I don't remember what the exact recording was, but it was something to the effect of "kind is the new pretty." Yes. And I think that is so freaking cool. And I agree. And on that note, y'all create a community. We are mere specks of sand on a big beach of awesome folks. We're hairy sand, but no. When supernatural stuff comes to an end, Shakespeare, dude, the classics, full circle. Don't.
Is that Bill Shakespeare over there? I can't see him. Mike, you can borrow those glasses. I just, yeah, this is...
Oh, God.
Oh, but damn, that is Bill Shakespeare. Boy, he got uglier.
You can use your papers not for writing books, but I would like to spend more time being a father.
Professionally.
Maybe playing a father.
Hey, there you go. We can find a way to get paid by just playing with our kids. Yeah.
The Real House Husbands of Austin. I watch it.
It's what out of work actors do these days.
Touche.
I don't know. It's to think ahead that far is kind of hard for my brain to comprehend right now. The show, we've been so immersed in the show for so many years. There's obviously not an end in sight just yet. When that end does come into view, then I guess it'll start to be time to start thinking about that kind of thing and where we want to go, what we want to do. But until then, I'm just kind of enjoying the ride. So.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the premiere. Yeah, love the show.
Notice that his has a pad on the microphone. Mine does not.
Why is that?
Because you hit it. Can I teach you a way to clap without hitting the microphone?
Okay.
Jensen's doing the disappointed dad face.
Sure, just do this.
I don't have to try.
He went like this. Oh, God.
Try your face.
Oh, my God. Dying.
11 years.
And counting.
Hi, how you doing?
I just wanted to know how many instruments you guys play and how long you play 7 instruments.
Wow, what do you play?
I play 10 instruments.
What?
Yeah.
10?
What the heck? Get out of here. No kidding, what do you play?
Wait. I want to guess.
Oh, Jensen.
Guitar.
We're alternating.
Yeah.
Piano.
Yep.
Bass.
Yep.
Drums.
Mandolin. Dobro.
Saxophone.
Yeah.
Oboe.
Yeah.
Jazz flute.
Jazz flute. He dropped it.
Kazoo. Boom. 11.
The recorder. Can you play hot cross buns on the recorder?
Because he can.
Because he can't.
Do it right now.
Drums.
Yeah.
Cowbell.
Yes.
13.
13.
You didn't know you could play this in any instruments, did you?
symbol.
All right. All right, lay them out real quick. Your 10 instruments, what are they?
Piano, guitar, bass, drums, trumpet, baritone, trombone, saxophone, clarinet, and I can sing a little bit.
Nice.
Anything in the room section?
That's clarinet.
Can we have more phone for Jared's microphone?
Oh! Wow, he broke it. Good job, Jared. There you go.
In the interest of not trying to compete with you, because that's badass.
Oh, I want to compete. I want the guitar, not ugly. If you're going to count vocals, then I'll throw that hat in the ring. I can play the spoons. I can clap really well.
Jared can.
I can tap my feet. The kazoo. The tambourine. The cowbell. The shaker. And the trombone.
I can play.
Don't ask me to play any of that, please.
I can play the stereo,
Take my word for it.
the iPhone, the iPad, the XM radio, and the television.
Dude, we have so much band.
I agree.
Thanks.
Oh my god, he broke it again.
Well done, brother.
He is if you know how to play the microphone.
I'm back, dude. How are you?
Hi, I'm Sean, and I'm from Boston. And I'm here with my friends Gabriella and Natalie, who are from Canada, and we met in Toronto at our first con last year.
Yay!
Okay.
Can clap really well.
My question is for Jared.
Take a seat.
I am sitting down.
Take a seat.
I've seen pictures of you with the guitar, and, but I've never seen on YouTube or anything or heard you play, so I was curious what got you into playing guitar. Have you ever taken lessons? Do you have a song that you can even play all the way through? Because I know I can't.
I can destroy Single Little Star. I do like guitar. My buddy Matt, who I did that Chevy commercial with, first got me a guitar. He bought me a Led Zeppelin songbook, which is a really bad thing to buy somebody who's never played guitar, because it's not really beginner level. I used to play a lot in high school, and I think on the weekends people would be like, "Hey, come over to the house." Everybody brings a guitar. It was all, everybody knew 4 chords and would play loudly and sing badly. And I played a lot before I got Supernatural, and I played a lot before I had dogs and kids and a wife and travel. I'm trying to get back into it now, but then I watch guys like Billy, and I'm like, why am I even playing? But one of these days I'll get up and try and have them mute my speaker and try and pretend I know what I'm doing with this guys. So.
I will say this about my dear friend here. Whenever I knock on his trailer door, we're working on coming in, talking about something, or run some lines, or whatever. he's generally got a guitar in his lap. And he's trying to figure out how to play a certain tune, but it's like, and he'll nail the intro and then it'll stop there. Or he's got a part of it that's like generally his favorite part of the song. I don't normally hear him play like a song all the way through. It's more just what we call noodling, and he so he does a lot of that, and he's very good at it. And I hope you guys would encourage him to continue that. Because did I say earmuffs? Earmuffs. Because he is good at it, and he should do it more. But you tell him that because I'm not.
Thanks, Alex. And thank you, man. What is this?
Hi.
Hi. First, I want to say thank you for appearing in the fan movie, the Supernatural fan movie.
Everybody see that?
Because now I can say I was in the movie with y'all, and that's awesome. For both of you. For me, I'm not wearing it right now, but usually my baseball hats are kind of like my security blanket. I feel better when I have it on. And Jared, I always see you in a beanie even when you're in swim trunks. I was wondering if you consider the beanie your kind of security blanket, and Jensen, if there's something that you always wear when you do kind of like your security blanket.
I'll start. Yes, it is absolutely my security blanket. Because I can't carry around a blankie anymore because it's loud. Yeah, you know, I saw an interview with Johnny Depp one time. He was saying his long hair was his security blanket, and then I saw an interview with Eddie Vedder saying the same thing. Like, I have long hair, I like behind it. I just got the hair behind my beanie. And I still do it. I fly with it, I wear it at home. So, yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. Good catch. Even if I'm not wearing it, I've got to close by it.
Yeah, I normally have a ball cap on when I'm not either doing this or on camera or, but if I'm just kind of cruising around, I normally have a ball cap on, but that's, I don't know if I would consider it a security blanket, more just something that I've always been comfortable having, and it's really just because I don't feel like grooming my hand. It's more out of laziness than, you know, insecurity or whatever it might be that would require that. I will say that there are certain things that I wear consistently, which is funny because I don't consider myself a superstitious person, but there are some things that I will wear, and I guess it is out of superstition. And it's whenever I travel, I'll wear this necklace that my wife gave me years ago. And there's a couple of bracelets on my wrist that I wear because of the significance that they have. So I don't feel, if I was to fly without it, which I have, I feel like this is something I feel like I'm complete. So I never really thought about it, but yeah, I did that.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and I'm from Vegas. And I just wanted to say that I'm a huge fan of your show, and you guys are part of what makes the show really great. And I recently got my husband to start watching the show as well. And my question is for Jared and Jensen. You guys are both happily married, and I noticed that many people have a hard time explaining how they know their significant other is the one they're going to spend the rest of their life with, the one that they want to be with. And so I wanted to ask you guys, how did you know that your current, who you're with now, was the one
Jared, Jensen, when did you first meet your future ex-wives? I'm just kidding. I get what you're trying to say. I guess my current wife.
Let's start with her.
You said something kind of amazing in your question, which is that a lot of people have a tough time or a difficult time explaining to their significant others or themselves what it is. And I guess I feel that I had no way to possibly explain it to myself or to her. I remember that I had been in a relationship and I was single, and I was like, I am not interested in getting a relationship. And then she and I went on a date, and I was like, I can't go anywhere else. I'm not interested. So that's kind of what started it for me. Yeah, I just feel like she makes me a better person. There are a lot of people that make you a better person, and so that's not enough, I don't think. Or maybe it is, who knows. I don't know, I can't really, if I could explain, I'd be a poet. And I would love to be a poet. She just makes me...
Just tapping me on the finger.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult. She makes me feel safe. She makes me feel loved. When I'm in a position where I don't love myself, I know she loves me. She's just an awesome, awesome lady.
I kind of feel like there's two types of people in regards to marriage and finding that one. It's the ones that just know with an absolute and have a certainty of like, this is the one for me, unequivocal. And then there's those who are, I don't know, I'm scared, but I'm willing to take that leap of faith with you. And I kind of found myself somewhere in between both of those. And so it can be a scary endeavor, and it will certainly have its ups and downs. But I think it's a bond, and it's a connection, and it's a friendship, and it's a ride, and it's a journey that if you're willing to stick it out with one another, can be an amazing, beautiful thing. And I'm glad that I picked the partner and the team that I have. So,
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm from Phoenix.
Hi, Melissa.
First, I would say that Tied Up in Bloody Sand is totally my favorite. Because it guarantees you an absolutely furious, sexy decapitation from Dean. My question is...
Jared is like dying.
I like Tied Up in Bloody Sand
Jensen's
because
like,
that's the sand that's going to die. Through decapitation from Dean.
So my question is, you guys do an amazing job, I think, of showing in an industry that has so much slut, cheating, and crap on every magazine cover, just showing a beautiful family life and commitment to your marriage.
By not being on the magazine cover?
By not being on crappy magazines, yes. But I think with the schedules that you guys have, that's kind of difficult. So what is that one thing that you commit to make that happen, to keep your marriage together?
He and I both actually in our relationship have a 2-week rule, where we don't go more than 2 weeks without seeing our family. And sometimes it's difficult because we'll film all week and they'll be in Austin or whatever the situation is, and they're doing their thing, we're doing our thing, and we make it a point to either get our family to us or get to our family, because after 2 weeks you start to kind of like forget what they feel like and what they smell like and have that kind of eye-to-eye connection.
it's just too long.
It's a long time. And people can do it. Obviously, we have our amazing soldiers who keep us safe. They are stronger than I am. I need that kind of reassurance with my wife and kids more often. So if you're military or military spouse out there, thank you. You're awesome. That's what kind of is off the top of my mind, is trying to see them as much as possible.
Yeah, and it's, you kind of alluded to other parts of the industry and people and what kind of gets glorified in the media sometimes is not doesn't paint the best picture of personal lives outside of the industry. You have to remember that Jared and I started 11 years ago and got shipped up to Canada to shoot this show that's lasted this long. And So he and I have really been out of that scene, if you want to call it that. And because of kind of the success that the show has had on the level that it's had, it's kind of kept us like just off the radar of a lot of the major news. Honestly, I remember, I don't think we talked about this, I remember reading an article that Damon gave maybe a year or two ago, and he said, you know, every year the press show up and they follow me, walking my kid to school and back, and it's the same thing. It's like, yep, it's still boring. And if you don't give people anything to report, then they're going to kind of leave you alone. And I think Jared and I, you know, we're not scandalous people, and we're not trying to destroy our lives or lives of others, or do things that you know get those tabloids. So I think we kind of find comfort in being boring. So we'd rather be exciting on screen and boring in real life.
I love boring.
Yeah, and so you know, I think it's awesome because it allows us to have a real relationship with our wives and our children and our family and our friends and you guys, and it's real. We don't have to pretend to be some persona in the public eye and keep that up. We can just be ourselves, and I think that's really important in his and I's relationship between each other, with our crew, with our family, with our friends, and I think the fact that he and I have been able to kind of keep each other accountable in that regard has helped all of those relationships flourish. So,
Holy Chuck, you guys are awesome, and I just want to thank you for...
Holy Chuck.
You can't swear when your little kids are watching Supernatural with you, so you gotta find some way around that.
I agree.
So thank you for the You Are Not Alone and Always Keep Fighting campaign. Is the convention that they show in Supernatural greatly varies from the conventions here. How do you stand and deem would feel instead of like on the Frenchman steak, instead of going maybe on the set, if they did it at like Vegascon?
I smell an episode. You know what? I don't think they'd want to go back.
All the love here, I think they'd stick around here with you guys.
You'd be like, wait a minute, I can get up and play with these guys? Oh, I'm staying. Sam, you can go back. I'm staying here. Get rock. Yeah, that would be an interesting scenario because this is certainly different than what was portrayed in the show. And hey, again, smell that episode.
Season 12. Thank you for such an awesome question.
Thank you.
Hi, pretty cool. So I'm really nervous. Wow, I've been 11 years a fan and being here at your convention after watching the show for so long is really cool. So if you guys could act or direct in any film or TV show, what would it be and why?
Novel. Oh, Marvel. You're not named Chris. If we need Chris to be in a Marvel, let's see.
I'll geek out a little bit. I wouldn't mind going on Game of Thrones. Selfishly, because I love to work with David Nutter again. I know he directs a lot of those. But it's also like one of the only shows I kind of keep up with. So, if you put me anywhere else, I'd be like, who are these people? What am I doing here? Yeah.
I'm not being Star Wars. I was wanting to be in Harry Potter. like, you will open the door. He's like, I'm not going to open the door. Y'all
James
know
Bond.
who that is?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's Daniel Craig. He's a big Star Wars fan. And so he was like, can I be in the new movie? I'll put a mask on. And so he's like just a stormtrooper who has like 3 lines. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that's exactly what
That's
I
cool.
was. So, drink from my name's Bond, but
I'll be.
Jensen, you would be an awesome James Bond.
thank you for the question. Thank you for watching 11 years. Super cool. He wants to do James Bond, but he wants to do Game of Thrones because he gets to be naked. What's naked?
That's Spartacus, dude.
Spartacus.
I made the same mistake. I was like, no, it's not a show. It's a bunch of naked people running around. That's Spartacus. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so once again, I'd like to thank you guys for bringing awareness to depression and anxiety. It actually helped me talk to my parents about it a little bit more and helped me feel a little bit more comfortable with it. So thank you very much for all of that. But my question is, there's been a lot of talk to your guys' family today, and yesterday she told a couple stories about Mason and Les. And I was wondering if you guys had any recent stories about dealing with this.
Yeah.
We just went to a Renaissance fair in Austin last weekend. And at first, JJ was kind of resistant of the very colorful characters that were there. And after I was challenged to hit a guy in the face with a tomato. So I'll take the scene real quick. We were walking by and there was literally a tomato throwing booth, kind of like a dunk tank. You know what those are? Except it was just a guy with, and it was a pretty good throw. I mean, I'd say it was maybe 30 to 40 feet away. And so the young lady who was taking the money and giving the tomatoes happened to be a big fan of the show. And so, needless to say, she just said, you can throw as many as you want. And so JJ was busy. She had like a fairy who was talking to her, so she finally asked Danielle to put her princess dress on. So now she was in her princess dress, and she was starting to kind of come around with the whole idea. And then they walk up and look at Danielle and they're like, so apparently I had to throw tomatoes at this guy's face, and he's yelling. He's like, I don't care what show you're on. You probably still have the stink of LA in your face. The stink of rejection from all the shows you couldn't get. Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back. He was awesome.
He was awesome.
And Jensen's like, how does he know?
And so JJ's like, what's happening, Daddy? And I'm like, Daddy's gonna try to hit this man in the face with a tomato. And so I fired one, and it hit the car, because it was it was like the size of the stage, and if the guy was like back here, like this, I'm maybe, you're talking maybe 4 or 5 rows deep was where I was standing. This big of a target. And it took me 5, and the 5th one, I hit him so hard. I'm not kidding. Because with each one, I was like zeroing in on him. And apparently the girl was like, he hasn't been hit all day, so he's really, and I'm like, well, how often does he get hit? She's like, a couple times a weekend. I'm like, that's it? I'm like, oh. Challenge accepted. So, I played baseball, I have a decent arm. I was rifling these things in there. I mean, as hard as I could possibly throw this thing. And one hit, boom, and he started mouthing off. And he looked down and I didn't even waste time with him. I just, whoa! was even more proud when I turned to JJ and she was like, "Yeah, Daddy!" He hesitated to walk off. He came all the way out from behind, like the barricade, and came out to shake my hand. He's like, "It's the hardest I've been hit in a long time." So setting very good examples for my child. That's one thing that's happened.
Respectfully, I can't beat that.
I'll have to bring you next time, and we can just play.
Yeah. We were taking house. I took my kids. There's a show that is their favorite show. It's called Wildcats.
Yeah!
And they did a live action show in Austin. And so I called my manager. I was like, "Hey, is there any chance we can like get backstage and meet the Wildcats?" And it was the best day of Tom and Chef's life. Martin and Chris Pratt came out and they were like,
Those are the guys in Zabu.
I mean,
all right.
Kids, like true joy in their face. I looked at Jen and I was like, our sons just peaked. They're 2 and 4. It's all downhill from here. And we met the Pratt brothers, and they were amazing, and incredible, and kind, and genuine. And yeah, that was a good night for the little How Do I Boys.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Shay, and me and my family are just a big fan of you guys. And my question is, since 11 years of Supernatural, what is your most memorable moment in Supernatural?
Yeah, what was your most memorable moment in the last 11 years of your life?
She's like, oh, right now.
You know, we've had some pretty big moments over the past 11 years. You know, he and I have reflected on this many times. We've had, you know, we've had major milestones. We've had major losses. We've had, you know, triumphs and tribulations and everything in between. And it's hard to pick what moment really stands out the most. For me, it's not a moment. It's what 11 years has given us, and you know, I know there's some sort of quote that, you know, life is not defined by the things you have, but by the relationships you have. And I believe that the relationships that we have acquired over the course of the show is the greatest thing that we've got. Those are the greatest moments, the moments that I get to have with. You know,
I mean, you looked around and it was like, these are all the people that have been involved with getting the show where it was. And then the sound kicked in and the screens turned on. And it was a, you know, 3 or 4 minute long compilation, and 4 screens were all showing different things at the same time. And it was just a really cool experience to look back and go like, man, 200 episodes, 10 years, a lot has happened. And it's still going on. And I hope to one day see maybe a 300 episode party.
Hey there.
Hi guys, my name's Emily. My question is for Jensen.
Sweet.
So I'm a technical theater major. This year I've recently been doing a lot of work in the theater. And Jensen, with your directing and acting, I'm wondering how you manage the multitasking and time management.
Great question, technical question. We have an unbelievable team of ADs that have really helped facilitate the expediting of everything that we've done for the past 11 years. So I've had Kevin Parks as my first AD all 5 times that I've directed, and he is a wizard when it comes to time management and doing stuff like that. So I lean on him quite a bit, and I think that that's one thing that, in my opinion, the directors that come on our show that haven't directed it before and really succeed at doing so are the ones that are available and use the talent that is the crew that is around them, because they understand it, they know it, they know how to facilitate it, how to get things done, and if they dig their heel, if the director digs his heel in, like Jared's doing, right? Then that can backfire quickly. So, you know, I guess it's easy to say surround yourself with very talented people and it'll make your job a lot easier, but it's true. If you've got people that are in positions that you can trust them to help you move along, then that's key. But you can also do things too as a director. I lay out a scene and I'm like, okay, this is all the stuff I need. Now let me start trimming. What is excess here? What don't I need? What can I take away that still gets the story told properly? The key element is to always tell the story and don't sacrifice that.
I'm an aerialist in the show. That was the scariest or most exciting stunt you guys did yourself. You didn't give to your stunt guys.
Well, I was going to tell you a cool story about us jumping 12 feet through a church window. But if you're an aerialist in Las Vegas, then 12 feet is probably like what you do in your sleep.
That's not that
It was to me.
It's not that high.
Well, you have to explain the situation. It wasn't just like it was jumping off a second story out of a second story window. It was jumping out of a second story window that was opaque. So you trust that there's something there to catch you on the other side when you can't see it. So it's essentially jumping with your eyes closed. And
She's like, yeah.
She's like, yeah. My eyes are closed most of the time.
That was a bit of a mind-body disconnect. It wasn't mortifying.
Yeah, but once I did it once, I was like, oh, let's do it again.
Another thing that I wouldn't say was scary, but was like, oh, this is gonna suck, was the bees, because we knew we were gonna get stung. So it wasn't scary, like, we didn't think we were gonna die, we didn't want allergic, we were like, well, this is gonna suck. All right, let's go swat 40,000 bees as they like pissed off at us. That was pretty scary.
They don't let us do a whole lot of the big, you know, getting tossed and getting air ran 30 feet and stuff. It's just a liability. I mean, not Todd, but another guy who's not built this movie, Jesse, he got air ran about 40 feet last year and snapped his collarbone. And so, you know, he's healed, he's fine, he's great, but that obviously put him out, and they can't afford something like that to happen to your eye. Even if, you know, some little guy named Oscar Chow decides to break his shoulder, some master Chow, to be honest. So they don't let us do those big ones. I've often wanted to do. I've been like, I want to do that. That looks fun, but it's more of an insurance thing. They don't let us. So they will let us do a lot of the smaller and stuff, throwing ourselves into bookcases, things like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of are handcuffed by liability. So
yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, well, guys. Everyone come learn some circuits.
Hey.
You let me know, I'll make it happen.
Sweet. I've got a wire on me. I'm good. Thank you.
Hey!
Really? Already?
This is the last question.
The last question.
I believe this is the last question.
She is from Vegascon, Arizona.
Sarah, would you like to sit down, or you just want to hang out?
Massachusetts.
Good choice.
Good choice.
She's from Vegascon, Illinois. Sarah.
Hi there. All right. So you have the pleasure of asking the very last question. What is it?
Well, as you can see by my shirt, I am campaigning for Crowley Beach 2016.
Make America supernatural again. Naturally super again.
Yeah.
We have a little caption on the back.
President Crowley, Vice President Dean, Speaker of the House, Sandy Boy, Secretary of State Gabriel, Treasury, Jesus, we have like 45 different positions. You know a lot of these people are dead.
Chief of Staff, Kane. Communications Director, Chuck Shirley. You definitely want somebody who can communicate. He's the director of it.
I specifically like Secretary of the Department of the Interior of the Cage, Lucifer.
I can tell there's a certain hierarchy on her list, and the bummer is suddenly you're comptroller, watching number 5.
Key grip.
So, what is your question?
So my question is, if any character on Supernatural could run for president, who would you pick and why?
Jensen? You first.
Play a little thinking for the answer here, either.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal from the audience. I know Charlie. What do you got? Ackles?
No, he's a bad decision maker.
I'm gonna go with Bobby Singer.